And welcome to our webinar on building the traceability bridge. My name is Todd Baggett, and my co-host today is Stefan Lanziner from Junction Solutions. So first of all, let's take a look at what is required for PTI compliance. You need to put a PTI label on each case of product that you pack and ship. That includes the lot number for traceback to the pack date, as well as the GTIN, or Global Trade Identification number, that identifies the brand owner and the product. The products themselves then need to be tracked by lot as they are shipped to the customers, which includes tracking any changes to pallets that are made and keeping track of product from the time it is harvested to the time it is shipped to the customer. Lastly, you'll put a hybrid pallet tag on each pallet at the point of shipment to comply with PTI best practices. And then you'll maintain electronic records for traceability such that if there ever is an issue, you can quickly pull that information back up. RedLine Field is a PTI compliant system for items that are field packed. It's a single system that allows you to manage all of your harvest operations across multiple crews and multiple districts. It works with you in your existing processes and allows you to print labels whenever and wherever that you need them. It does provide a user interface in either English or Spanish, and provides visibility to harvest operations in process to those back at the office who are doing production planning. We do have a seamless integration into Junction Food and Beverage, and that allows us to automate the receiving at the cooler or the packing shed. From a daily harvest, we actually pull the information from Junction Food and Beverage. Those screens, again, can be displayed in English or Spanish depending on the user's preference. When we get to label production, if you have the luxury of being able to know exactly what you're going to harvest that day, you can pre-print everything. If you have changes, you can actually print in the field. If you need to, you can actually print at the cooler and send items out to the field. And the last option that I recommend against is to print and apply at the cooler at receipt. And the primary concern here is the backup that your trucks would have, as this would add time to your process. If we look at the capturing the harvest information, we actually do it at the bin or the case level, and that includes information on the grower ranch block, the commodity variety pack style, and the harvest crew, including who is attending. All of the transactions have a user, date, and timestamp, and once we've collected the data on the cases, we then associate them to a pallet ID, and then link all of that information back to the harvest paperwork. For the receipt at the cooler, when we're transferring the product, the truck arrives with the bins or the pallets. The receiver then will have a mobile device to help them bring that in. They validate the item, and they record any discrepancies in quantities if they exist, and then they accept that automated receipt. That information then is passed into Junction Food and Beverage, and that includes details at the bin and pallet level, as well as all of the field traceability information and the timestamps for critical events. With that, I'd like to introduce Stefan Lanziner from Junction Solutions, who will talk to us a little bit more about Junction Food and Beverage.
Yeah, so Junction Food and Beverage is an enterprise solution specifically designed for food and beverage industries, and that includes functionalities such as grower accounting, lot trace, scheduling, inventory management, direct store delivery, trade promotions, and all that is backed up by Microsoft's Core Dynamics AX capabilities, including reporting and a strong business intelligence suite. It is Junction's main philosophy to provide a complete solution, and we found a great partner in RedLine who has the expertise and industry knowledge to help us build the traceability bridge from the field to the ERP system. So everything kind of starts at setting up the main data. So grower ranch lot information can be defined for season and region, and the grower ranch lot information, commodity and product information all feeds into a harvest plan. The harvest plan is visible from the RedLine solution, so they can generate a harvest event. Once the harvest event is executed out in the field, field labels are printed, data is scattered. That data is then transferred real-time back into the ERP system and is available for analysis and planning ahead. So on the top right here, you can see our expected receipt workbench that allows you to see all the harvest events and get ready for the incoming receipt So we can schedule dock doors, schedule coolers, and we also can provide real-time visibility into sales availability. The next step in integration is the actual grower receiving process. Again, RedLine solution will scan all the pallets and the loads. Information is transmitted real-time into Dynamics AX and generating the receiving process. As part of that, we gather information such as grower ranch lot, country of origin, as well as quality-related data. And all that is the basis for our end-to-end trace. Our end-to-end trace has pretty much three main processes. The first one is identifying a bad lot. We developed a easy-to-use lot trace wizard, which kind of guides a user through intuitive questions to identify a bad lot. Once the trace runs and generates the whole trace history, then the data is reported back to the user. There's a couple different ways to do analysis. We have some tools built in Dynamics AX that help us also manage that data. For example, the lot trace workbench shown here on the bottom left. This tool allows you to put a lot on hold, preventing the user from shipping a finished product or using a raw material in a production environment. And with that, just would like to summarize and say that together, RedLine and Junction, we're offering a complete field-to-fork traceability option for our produce customers. We are helping facilitate compliance and mitigate risks surrounding food safety. And we're doing this by really bridging the gap between the harvest event and the ERP system. We're eliminating the often manual link of re-entering data at the receiving point by having a real-time integration between RedLine and Junction Solutions.
Great. Well, thank you, Stefan, and I'd like to thank you for joining us today. That will be all.